collecting these items for about 20 years now, and I have about 78 pages of stuff that I can read off. I'm going to start out with a poem by Robert Browning, and this will set the scene for the religious mind, maybe the mind of a 9-year-old or 11-year-old, not to put them down, but this is the typical thinking that a person might have, that there's a God because there are butterflies, and there's a sunset, and there are birds, and there are flowers. And this is from Robert Browning, the song From Pippa Passes, which is a poem that was published by this Robert Browning that existed about 100 years ago. The years at the spring, the days at the morn, mornings at 7, the hillsides dew-perched, or pearled, I'm sorry, the larks on the wing, the snails on the thorn, God's in his heaven, all's right with the world. That's the mindset of the religious person. And Browning appealed to that. Everything is fine except when you're picking at the scabs of your smallpox infection or getting the flu, or there's a hurricane coming through or an earthquake. But nobody ever thinks of God in those circumstances. A couple of questions on the on TV that I noticed. Can I get swine flu from eating pork? Now, if anybody has the barest information about swine flu, it's communicated by respiratory contact, respiratory infection, droplets. People are wearing masks. They're somewhat effective. They kind of trap the large globules of stuff that you spew out when you sneeze. So there are some worth in cutting back on infection. But you can't get the swine flu from eating pork, bacon, or Canadian bacon, nice roast ham, or anything like that. Now, I watched the Travel Channel. There's a
hold on, John, we have a call. Go ahead, caller. You're on the Free Thought Forum.
Hey, I just want to tell you guys I found the other hand of God in the Jell-O in my refrigerator.
in the Jell-O.
Yeah.
Put it on eBay.
That was the left hand. I found the right hand of God in my refrigerator in the Jell-O. Hey, what do you think about Arlen Specter crossing the aisle today?
Not completely unexpected. You know, I guess we have to wait and see how that pans out, first in the primaries and then in the election.
I didn't get the question. Arlen Specter?
Arlen Specter announced he was changing.
I don't think he's going to change his vote very much. He's just switching the name.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that works out in the primaries.
I'm just curious. Okay, thanks.
Sure. Thanks for calling.
As I was saying, I watched the Travel Channel, and there's a Bridget Marquardt on the station that's it's labeled Bridget's Sexiest Beaches or something like that. And she said, she asked, if I eat brains, will I get smart? This is one of the Hefner's former girlfriends. And maybe it'll work for her, I don't know. But I don't think
she has nothing to lose, probably.
Nothing to lose. And the last question I heard on television, everybody knows that CNN and people that are interviewed, Jay Leno, for example, interviewing people, the truth often comes out. And they were asked, where does the swine flu come from? And people in Mexico said, well, everyone knows, Canada, Asia, the USA, but definitely not Mexico. So they know, they did the studies, and we don't. So you should watch TV for information. One of the things that you have to realize is God created all of this stuff. Smallpox, as I mentioned, the flu. In the 1918 flu epidemic, 50 million, not 50,000, 50 million people were killed worldwide. It ranges from 25 million to 100 million. So this is a serious occurrence right now, and we all ought to take every precaution. It's serious and could eventuate in a pandemic, which means an infection of everybody in the world rather than an epidemic, which is a limited infection or a local type of infection.
Are we better able now to control a pandemic with
well,
vaccines?
We have the Tamiflu, which cuts back on viral replication, I believe. I may be mistaken about that. I haven't looked into it in extent. It's hard to make a vaccine against the flu. I read in a in a journal recently in the last 2 or 3 months that they are trying to work on the basic flu item that carries the infection. I mean, the outer coat changes from year to year, and from animal to the bird flu, the swine flu.
It evolves.
So yeah, it evolves, yes, and but the basic flu organism still can be grown and a vaccine possibly made against that. So it may come out in the next year or so. That is a pan-flu vaccine, not just a one that's limited to the local flu that we could get. Now I'm going to go on to another item that I've come across in my files. We have holidays, for major holidays, 7 of them, and they actually correspond with the 7 deadly sins, and I thought you might want to remember the 7 deadly sins just in case you're engaging in any of them. You might want to be concerned.
Or all of them.
Or all of them, which I certainly do. Christmas is associated with greed. Thanksgiving is gluttony. The 4th of July, pride. Valentine's Day, can you guess what that might be?
Lust?
Lust, you got it. Halloween.
I'm going to look. I'm cheating.
Now, Halloween is envy. I don't. What is that?
I don't know.
No, I haven't figured that one out yet. I got this off the list, and maybe who has the better costume, I guess. Veterans Day is wrath. That's a good one. I'm from the 406, or whatever. And Labor Day is
sloth.
Sloth, right?
I cheated.
Oh, we are the hypocrites.
Was there a holiday for cheaters? Is that Income Tax Day, maybe?
Maybe. Now let me get on to some personal items here on the desk, this glass. Now I'm going to give you another quote that I got. This is Benjamin Franklin. Now he's one of the founding fathers or founding
he's
old guys. Yeah,
one of the founding old guys.
A little bit later.
But hold on, John, we have a call.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the Free Thought Forum.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just had a comment for the. Pardon?
Go ahead.
Am I on?
Yes, you're on here.
Oh, okay. I just had a comment there for the gentleman to my left with the pink T-shirt.
It's not pink, it's magenta.
It's actually red. We were having some camera problems earlier. So okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
what's your question?
Oh, red. Sorry, yeah.
No, that's okay.
You know, it just seems, I'm not sure how old he is, but it just seems like he's, almost at an age that, he'll be meeting his maker soon.